Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Rishi Harinan and C News is live. Topping the news at this time. A group of Cuban nationals were arrested on Wednesday after they protested outside the United Nations office in Port of Spain. The group, which comprised 5 women and 4 men, were expected to appear before a Port of Spain magistrate this morning to answer the charge of obstruction of a public passageway. They were arrested at around 5:30. They had been living under a tarpaulin outside the UN office on Chancery Lane, hoping to be granted asylum in the U.S. The group had been offered accommodation by the Living Water community but refused to be relocated. Their children, who had been sleeping on the streets with them, have been handed over to the Child Protection Unit of the Police Service. A total of 4,100 households began receiving food support from the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services from Monday, December 18th. This as the ministry seeks to ensure that vulnerable families who are experiencing hardship and are unable to fully provide for the nutritional needs of their respective families are provided with the necessary support. The distributions will continue until December 22nd at various locations across Trinidad and Tobago. The ministry said distributions have already been made in 33 out of the 41 constituencies to date. Families were selected by their respective Member of Parliament, and each card is valued at $410 and are redeemable at most of the merchants across Trinidad and Tobago. The ministry wishes to advise that selected people who are unable to collect their cards on the designated day may do so at their respective social welfare district offices until December 31st, 2017. People who may experience difficulties with accessing the funds on their cards should immediately return the cards to the social welfare district office nearest to their residence so that the cards may be replaced. It is also reminded that the cards are redeemable only at merchants approved under the Food Support Program. To some other news now. Minister of Health Terence Dialsingh says the Ministry of Health has saved tens of thousands of dollars on procuring HIV and AIDS drugs. Minister Dialsingh was speaking on Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago about some of his ministry's progress and short-term plans.
We switch some key elements of drug procurement from local suppliers and local tenders by going to something called the PAHO Strategic Fund, Pan-American Health Organization. And with that, we've been able to save tens of millions of dollars, whilst at the same time, especially for HIV/AIDS drugs.
Well, one of the biggest successes for Minister Dialsingh is the HIV and AIDS program he relaunched.
And one of the big success stories that we have had is our ramp-up of our HIV/AIDS program. And that is a big success story, which I spoke about at length during AIDS month in November.
The Ministry of Health is advising the public that the Lactalis Group in Laval, France, has recalled certain lots of the Picot and Milumil brands of infant milk products due to fears of salmonella bacteria contamination. The ministry, however, has informed the public, based on an advisory from the International Food Safety Authorities Network, Trinidad and Tobago has not been identified as one of the 40 countries which imported the affected products. But the Ministry of Health says if you have any of these products, they must not be consumed. Anyone who has purchased these products should contact the Ministry of Health's Chemistry, Food and Drugs Department at a toll-free number 800-2333 or 623-2834 or 623-5242. Salmonella poisoning symptoms include severe diarrhea, stomach cramps and vomiting, and anyone who might have consumed the affected product should seek immediate medical attention. To some other news now. Labour consultant Robert Giuseppe is calling for the recent ruling by the High Court judge in favour of RBC Bank to have the recognition of the Banking, Insurance and General Workers Union revoked to be reversed. Speaking to C News, Mr. Giuseppe is questioning why the High Court and not the Industrial Court heard the case in the first place. The judge is, in the ruling, stated one of the reasons of the verdict was issues with the documents filed by the union.
It can cause terrible concern with Royal Bank, because if little clerical errors could make me lose my right to be representative, and therefore there might be thousands of other workers with the same thing, because the unions have a way of doing certain clerical work and things, you know, and so that judgment has to change or be withdrawn.
This is the C News Live report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at C News Live. The political leader of the National Solidarity Assembly, Nirvan Miraj, is calling on the Minister of National Security and the PNM government to provide more police patrols in central Trinidad. He says in Cuba alone, small businesses are being targeted and innocent people are being brutalized. He says in Shogunas, robberies, assault, sexual harassment, shoplifting, and pickpocketing are taking place every day while people attempt to go about their normal lives. Mr. Miraj wants police and army patrols to be posted in the central area, especially in Cuba, Shogunas, and the environs. 3 men appeared before an Arima Magistrate on Wednesday charged with the murder of PC Richard Babwah. Babwah was killed while attempting to thwart a robbery at a Chinese restaurant he was liming at in Aruca on Monday, December 11, 2017. 32-year-old Kian O.C. Simmons, a.k.a. Clarky, 32-year-old Sherland Jones, a.k.a. Psycho, and 31-year-old Sean Scott, a.k.a. Scotty, a taxi driver, all of Maloney Gardens, Dabadi, appeared before Magistrate Debian Basso in the Arima First Magistrates Court. They were also charged with robbery with aggravation against a proprietor of the restaurant. Jones and Simmons are also faced joint charges related to possession of firearm, ammunition, and robbery with violence against PC Babwah. The matter was postponed to Tuesday, January 16, 2018. For the period this afternoon and tonight, Trinidad and Tobago and the remainder of the Lesser Antilles will be generally sunny despite brief showers at times over a few areas. Tonight will be generally clear despite a few showers favoring the Leeward Islands. Seas are expected to be normal with waves up to 1.5 meters to 2 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. And several West Indies players won the inaugural T10 title with the Kerala Kings in Sharjah this week. Samuel Badri, Kieran Pollard, Nicholas Pooran, and Riyad Emrit are members of the Kerala squad. One supporter of the new cricket format is national cricketer Kevin Cooper. He told our Ken Fuentes that he welcomes the introduction of the T10 cricket worldwide. With T20 hitting its way to prominence, an even shorter form of the game is the T10 competition, and it has begun to catch on. Cooper is known for his prowess in the T20 circuit, and he believes this can be an avenue for cricket to become an Olympic sport.
Cricket, and I would like to see cricket play in Olympics, and that's the only way. I think it will play 10 overs aside. Very exciting, it's a different format, but I think people will get accustomed to it, and hopefully it will be very big.
Cooper then took time to give his wish for sport in Trinidad and Tobago in 2018.
My wish for sports in Trinidad and Tobago is, we need some consistency, football, cricket, all the different sports, I want us 2018 to start to compete against some of the best teams in the world. A small country, a dot in the world, and still we produce some of the best sportsmen. Kishon Walcott, Russell Latterby, Dwight York, Brian Lara, the prince of cricket. So hopefully we can continue producing some world-class athletes, and 2018 start competing more with the bigger countries.
And speaking about the man himself, Kevin Cooper, the national cricketer came together with several of this country's top sporting and entertainment personalities for a day of fun at the George Boyce Recreation Grounds, dedicated to kids, especially those in need. Cameraman Joel Phillip and Ken Fuentes were present for the event.
It was a day for the children and some fun with football. The children had their fill with treats on offer on a day that was catered to them. Host Kevin Cooper said it was just his way of bringing some Christmas cheer to all.
Well, this is Super Cooper Smile. 3 years ago I started this project, concentrating on the homes around Christmas time. And this year we added a little more sports into it, a charity football event also, where we have Kishon Walcott, boys, Pretty, So we invite them to come to interact with the guys, with the children from the home, which I think is a good thing.
Cooper says as a public figure, he believes he has a duty to give back to his country in some form or fashion.
I think it's very important, it's more than giving back, people look at us as role models, and if you look what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago today, I think we as sportsmen, have to play a greater part in trying to develop the youths of Trinidad and Tobago.
He says getting his fellow sporting and entertainment personalities on board for the event was an easy task.
I just came back from Bangladesh, so I was out for 2 months. And while being on the phone with Voice and Preedy, you know, Dennis Lawrence, Stern John, all these guys, past and present national players, you know, they think it was a good idea. You know, they think that the country need more of this.
On the field, the football was competitive. In their first game, the Cooper 11 managed to come away with a victory, thanks in part to national footballer and the Cooper's brother, Kevin Molino. Kent Fuentes, C Sports.
Well, football action now, and the women's under-20 national footballers continued with their preparation ahead of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers in January with training at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. Head coach Jamal Shabazz has an almost full complement of players and says this is an added bonus for the coaching staff.
Well, this is by no means a holiday period for the senior and under-20 women's team. It's an opportunity for us to get all our players together, the foreign base and the local base, and get some quality training time. And we've been doing that. The under-20s are in camp, and the seniors are at it 5 days a week. So we're really pushing some work now and using that downtime that they have from the schools overseas to really get our act together.
Shabazz likes that the girls are pushing themselves for selection on the final team for the qualifiers.
It's a joy right now working with them, and you know, we singing, we wish it could go on forever, because now the training has a lot more meaning, a lot more purpose, and the girls are competing very, very, very well and taking things in stride.
Well, that's it for sport. Well, that's how we end the C News report at noon. I'm Rishi Harry Nanan. Have a good afternoon.